everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today, I want to take some time to answer a question, a particularly disturbing question and morbid question that has come to me from 4 different people today. I get up and I find this question from 4 different viewers. Basically the same question, worded differently and slightly different each time, but pretty much the same question. They're basically asking, is Biden going to die now that he has COVID? And what is that going to mean for the gun community, or I guess the country at large, one person asked. But first off, I want to say, for those out there, for one, if you're hoping Biden dies, that's kind of un-American. I know people did that when Trump got COVID, and that was disgusting too. But, because believe me, I think we should support our president. That would be horrible for us on the national, on the worldwide stage if our president passed away and we were glad. But, so I hope he's doing fine, just like I hoped Trump would do fine. But here's the thing, whether you like him or not, he's not dying of COVID. He's got this new strain of COVID that is very virulent. It's very easily spread. And it's not a matter of, will you get this one? It's if you go out in public and you're around people, it's a case of when will you get it, not if you will get it, like I said. So it's not surprising that he has it since he's been out campaigning and stuff. I would have expected him to get it. And I think the doctors expected him to get it too. Now they say he's showing mild symptoms, which means nothing bad. So, well, of course, if we're believing what they say, which I'm taking them at their word right now. But it makes sense because, like I said, this virus spreads very fast. It's not very deadly. It just spreads very fast, this new variant. And that was the problem with COVID all along. It wasn't that COVID was particularly deadly. It was just that it had a good chance of killing people that were in a category where they were susceptible to things like the flu and pneumonia, etc., where it could kill them because of their physical condition. And the biggest difference between COVID and like other flus and viruses is that it was so contagious. It spread so fast. So instead of like in a normal flu season where, like 25% of the people would get the flu one month, 25% would get it the next month, and 25% would get it the next month, and so on, one more month. And we could deal with the people that were dying, the 2% or whatever that were dying from it because of their pre-existing conditions, whatever. The people were getting this all at once. It's like 80% of the people were getting it at one time. And that was overwhelming the hospitals, and that meant the people that were dying from it that were sick with it, that could be treatable, weren't getting treated, which was raising death rates because hospitals were too crowded. That also meant people were dying from heart disease, etc., because they couldn't get into hospitals. So that was what was causing the problem. Not how deadly the virus itself was, it's just how quickly it spread and how our for-profit medical system isn't equipped to handle it. So the chances of him dying from this are very slim. Now, I can understand why some people think he might, because he's like, what is he now, 80? Or at least close enough to it so it doesn't matter. And he's not my grandfather's 80 and he runs marathons and still works out. He's not that kind of 80. He's the, grandpa's coming over. Let's put padding on all the sharp corners. He's that kind of 80. Because you never know when he's going to fall down or bump into something. And he's also at that age where he's also that kind of 80 where, grandpa might say something racist, just ignore it. That kind of thing. Not that I'm saying Joe Biden's racist, but he's at that age. So the chances of him dying, I can understand why you might think he would, but he's getting the best medical care. And like I say, this is not that deadly of a disease. So he's going to be fine. And I think even if you don't like Biden, you should be praying, if you're religious, that he's fine, and making deals with whatever deity you believe in that he be fine, because the alternative is kind of bad. Now, to move on and say, how would this affect the gun community if he passed? It would not have very much effect on the gun community at all. Here's the thing. It isn't like Biden or even Harris or any of these people are the driving forces. These politicians, they're not the driving forces behind gun control. It's the people who pay their, their salaries. And I don't mean their government salary. I mean the money that goes into their election campaigns and their slush funds and their super PACs. Those are the people that are the driving forces behind gun control. And they're not going to stop just because they have to get new puppets. You could replace every single person in Congress right now, and within a year, they'd all be doing the same things because the same people would come to them and says, hey, for $5 million to your slush fund, I want you to go out there and say this. For $10 million to your slush fund, I want you to go out and say this. For a $2 million a year cushy consulting job after you get done with your term, I want you to go out there and say this. That would still be happening. It would just be different faces on the message. The message would still be the same. So it wouldn't have any effect on the gun community. All of our victories we've been winning in the recent past haven't been because of politicians seeing the light. It's been because of politicians being slapped down by legal professionals saying, hey, it's fine that you want to do this, but the Constitution says you can't. So unless you change the Constitution, you can't do it. That's where all of our victories have been coming from. It's not coming from gun rights groups, lobbying politicians. The gun rights groups, they don't make enough money to lobby politicians. They can't go in and throw $10, $15 million at every candidate. They don't have that kind of money. Plus, if they did spend that kind of money, they wouldn't be able to buy themselves new suits and yachts and, luxury cars and everything else. So big groups like the NRA, the GOA, they basically feed themselves, no one else, because they just couldn't compete with like ExxonMobil or the pharmaceuticals or any of those agencies. People talk about, oh, the gun lobby is so big and powerful. It's about this big compared to like this for, even just a minor pharmaceutical lobby. Gun control would just be a little tiny, gun groups would just be a little tiny bit of it. So like I said, won't have any effect on gun rights in this country, won't have any effect on, any type of really anything. Because like I say, politicians aren't making the decisions. They aren't setting the policy. It's the people that pull their strings, which are the billionaires and the multinational corporations. So if you think, it's like saying, once Rush Limbaugh left, right-wing media would collapse. No, there's other people will come in, take that same money, do the same message, get the same promotions. It's like saying if Rachel Maddow went off TV, we wouldn't have any leftist news. Yes, we would. Someone else would take that same money, take that same position, get the same promotions, etc. Just be a different face, same story, because all these people are, all the politicians are, is sock puppets repeating a message given to them by the people who have their hands up their ass. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. Before I go, I want to remind everyone, if you like something I say or don't like something I say or you can't believe something I say, and you want to either call me out on it or come in and let me know you agree with what I'm saying or whatever, or just ask me questions, come on into the live chats. We have a live chat pretty much every day. In fact, it is every day. It's every day at 6 p.m. Pacific time, except for Mondays and Wednesdays, when that is at 5 p.m. Pacific time, because I'm an opening act for Never Enough Ammo that night. His chat is after mine. So if you're interested and you want to come on over, if you think I say, like I said, if you think I say stupid shit in here, wait till you see what I say in live chats. And plus, I go off on long rants over there that would definitely get me canceled if I made a video like that. So come on over if you want to join in on the chat. Like I say, there's a link in the upper corner of this video. Oh, one more thing I want to say before I get out of here. I am going to be starting a charity drive here very soon to benefit Fur Friends Animal Rescue, because there is such a glut of animals in need right now, because everybody is turning their animals that they used for companionship during the pandemic back into shelters, sometimes worse for wear. So I will be starting that here pretty soon. I wanted to start it by today or tomorrow, but right now I'm having trouble with my website. Once I get my website set up and I get the product set up that we're going to sell, to sell, not an entry into anything, sell this little sticker or something. I'll let you all know, but keep your eyes open for that. I might be putting a video up on Saturday about it, but until then, keep your eyes open. And with that, I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I do appreciate you coming, and I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.